Good morning and welcome to We Are the South Stand. I can take these headphones off. Welcome to the new show. It's called Good Morning City. It's going to be every single morning between the hours of 9:30 and 10:30 a.m. with myself, just catching up on everything. Shout out to everyone that's come over here from Never a Foul. Please make sure you are smashing the like button on the way in. Let's get those likes up nice and early. We want to get the likes up to 100 as quickly as possible. I'm going to get involved with the comments on this show. Let me know that you can see me, by the way, because YouTube is moving a little bit mad. It's saying 0 live viewers. But if I go on, or in fact, StreamYard is, but if I go on YouTube, it's telling me there's 31 of you in here. So, yeah. There we go. Right, you're with us. Shout out to Tone, who's saying, class, all the best with the new show. Smash the likes. Remember, you will catch your fix of Tone tonight at 7 p.m. Shout out to I'm just going to call you Basu. Sorry, SB. SB, that's your name. Good morning, Blues. Big up. Naf Raid and Patrick. Double morning shows. Yeah, Patrick, what are you saying? Patrick, are you about? I'm going to put the link in the chat. If you're about, join me. Let's have a chat. There is a link. Anyone else want to join me? Camera must be on. Anyone is free to come in and talk Manchester City with me. There is a link. But yeah, Patrick, if you are free, jump in, man. Let's have a chinwag. Now we're going to see Doku GA. What do you mean with that? What do you mean by that? Why are we now going to see it? Intrigued. Big up, Dax, one of my favourite channels. Appreciated. Thank you very much, Roxa. It's 1:40 in LA and you're watching, yeah? That is dedication. That is dedication. It's 9:30 here. And for those that don't know, right, basically, so now this channel is full steam ahead. Obviously, myself and Steve started this back late January, I think it was mid-January. We've been letting it bubble away a little bit. Just to explain why maybe it's been a little bit inconsistent over the last couple of weeks is about 6 weeks ago, I got, in fact, I think, yeah, it was just before we went to Madrid. I got made aware that I was at risk of being made redundant. And to be honest with you, I've just been living that and letting that go through. I now have officially been made redundant, which now means my head is in one place and one place only, which is here. I feel quite blessed. It's not something that, although it's sad because I've been there for 17 years. So when you've been somewhere for 17 years, change isn't always great. Bit sad, but I was ready. I wanted to leave. And you know what? You can see the sun shining right now. What a time to be made redundant. Just in time, April the 1st. Happy April. My daughter got me this morning, by the way. She woke me up and goes, Daddy. And I go, yeah. And she goes, it's 8:30. She has to be at school at 8:10. And I'm like, shh. And she's like, only joking. April Fools. Anyway, yeah. So I'm taking the summer off to basically focus on building this channel, focus on putting more time and effort into Never a Foul, enjoying the summer, and we'll see what happens around August, September time. Now, there's going to be a lot of news through the summer because, especially with our club, because there's a rebuild going on. So basically, I'm going to be here at 9:30 a.m. every single morning, bringing you your latest City football chat. I will put the... I will always put the link to the channel, to the StreamYard here right now. Right, link. There we go. This is a link for the channel. If any of you ever want to come on and talk City with me, just click the link. Now, your camera must be on, okay? If your camera is not on, I won't be bringing you on the stream. So your camera must be on. But yeah, so you're going to be getting this here every single morning at 9:30. And then, of course, you're going to be getting a lot more of the other shows. So tonight you have myself, Steve, Tone, Nobbins, and Martin from Mancunian Way at 7 p.m. At 6 p.m., you're going to be having myself, Steve, and we are 1894. Talking about other things. I've also got obviously Patrick. Patrick and I are going to be doing a weekly show on the Wednesdays. Some of you that are on Twitter might know the Sheikh. Myself and the Sheikh are going to be doing a show every single Thursday, and there's going to be a lot more lined up. It's going to be 2 shows a day, talking everything City. So let's get into the comments. Please keep getting those likes up nice and high. The big man's here. Good morning, Steve. What are you saying? I hope you just got my voice note. I will be addressing it. In fact, 1 second. Let me just have a quick listen to this. Don't worry, I'll listen to that afterwards, Steve. I wasn't sure if it was something urgent. But I'll get that. And people, watch out. There's going to be another video for Steve coming on his channel probably in the next hour or so once this show ends. Let's go through the comments. So I've been through a few of them. Where was it? Where was Morning Blues? Good luck, Daps. Appreciate it, Sean. Daps, why do our fans blame Doku on decisions after he beats the fullback? Only Haaland in the far box and no one in near box or middle. It's a valid point. It is a valid point. I think one of the things that I personally, not going to speak for anyone else, one of the things that I've personally picked up on is some players, as soon as they get the ball, they look up and they see what runs Haaland is making. If Haaland is making a run, they will feed him. My personal only problem with Doku is Doku never looks up. Doku looks to beat his man before making the pass, right? And by the time it gets to the point where he's looking up, right now, I've beat my man, who shall I pass to? The box has been flooded with defenders. Sometimes I just feel Doku could look up that little bit earlier instead of his priority always being beat his man. Sometimes, and that's great, sometimes we need him to do that. But sometimes I feel like maybe if he was to look up a little bit earlier and try and play a ball instead of beating his man, Haaland would be through without a defence full of... But that's it. Look, for me, Doku actually has been one of our better players this season, especially in this second half of the season. I think Doku's been really good. And I think he probably will be. I actually think next season Doku could be even better as well. So that's on that. Good morning, Blues. Hugo Lurson and Verts. Yeah, I'm seeing this. Hugo Lurson, I haven't seen much on him. I'm waiting till I get Shake on next Thursday because he's done quite a lot of research on him. Lovely. Got the main man here. Let me bring him in. Bear with me. Bear with me, Patrick. I think people can probably hear you. Patrick, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. I can hear you, yeah.
Well, don't worry. I'm just editing this. I just need to edit the layout quickly. Bear with me. Right, let's get rid of Dosh. That's about right, isn't it? I think that's about half and half. There we go. What are you saying, bro? How are you?
I'm good, man. What's with the early morning shows? Like I watched you just on Never Vow at 9 o'clock. I was like, well, this man is working hard, you know.
Bro, I've got to. Look, it's my job now.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah, we all wake up at 6 a.m. to go work for somebody else, isn't it? 5 a.m. sometimes. Yeah. I used to wake up at 4 a.m. if I have to go do the alarm in the place.
Well, I usually have to wake up, take my daughter to school. Getting up early is good, man. This is part of this. Isn't just for the channel. This is for me as well. I need to. If I don't have a reason to get up, then I'm going to end up lying in bed and doing nothing with my day and not being productive. And that could end up with me having a drink late at night the night before. Whereas, if I know I've got to be up at 8:30 to do shows all morning, then I'm not going to have a drink the night before. So it's part for me. This is for me. This is, and look, bro, going into the summer, I want to be the one that breaks the news. I want to be the one that gets all the early scope on all the players that we're going to sign.
That's
But
fair. That's fair.
how are you anyway? How's things?
I'm okay,
Hold
man.
on. Have you got a moustache? You never usually have a moustache.
What, me?
Yeah, moustache.
I've always had a beard and a mustache, man.
I've never noticed you with a moustache, you know. I've never noticed a moustache. It seems a bit longer.
That's fine. Oh, yeah, but it's also the fact that maybe I haven't trimmed it because I haven't had an opportunity to go to the barbers. But yeah, I know, I'm good, man. I'm good, man. I was just resting, you know, because yesterday I spent the whole day again in this hospital. So I noticed something yesterday as I wrote on Twitter that I think because I'm one of the nice ones, you know, like I always polite. So I said, I've noticed the nurses are keeping me last here because I don't complain. Because other people complain, you know, other people stand up and start complaining. I don't complain. So I said, oh, I've noticed me and this lady we were talking. We're like, they keep putting us last for the 3 weeks because they know we won't say anything. So yesterday I asked the nurse, I was like, you guys are doing this purposely. And she was laughing. I was like, she's like, what do you mean? I was like, you're putting us last all the time because you know we won't say anything. She's like, you know, you guys, we've given you, we've treated you early before. I was like, yeah, look, I don't complain. But it is what it is, man. It's a beautiful morning, man. So
it's lovely over here as well. Well, firstly, before we speak on, in fact, now we've got to speak on Haaland. I'm just thinking about we've got to speak on Haaland. How do you feel about that? Right, so I'm seeing some people saying Haaland's out for the rest of the season. Some people saying that he's out for. I think the truth is we don't know at this point, right?
Yeah,
but how do you feel about it?
I don't know. I'm not bothered, to be honest. I know that he's the main man, and obviously he gets the goals. But I have a bit of a criticism for Haaland, by the way. I think I said it in one of my shows. I just said it last year. I was discussing with one of my friends, and he came on the show, and we also spoke about it. There's also been a weakness in Haaland. As much as he gets the goals for us, his pressing is not great. I think you've noticed. So if we're talking about in a football term, the pressing is not great. So for me, I actually don't see it as a big downfall for City. Obviously, he's a big presence, but I also think he needed rest. You know, him and Josko have played so many games, international games, full games, so he needed rest. Sometimes at City, it's quite sad to see at Man City that it has to take you to be injured to rest, the same way as Rodri. You know, but I'm just saying, if people are worried, don't be worried. We might actually look better, to be honest, because our press was not great sometimes with Haaland since last year. I think I was complaining, saying sometimes he doesn't press. You find it's the midfielders pressing and leaving gaps sometimes. So I'm not worried at all, to be honest. I'm actually like, look, happy for him. I know it's an injury. It's not good to be happy when somebody's injured, but I'm happy for him that at least give him rest. Don't rush him back, because him and Josko, my God, the amount of minutes they've clocked, and fair play to them because they haven't complained.
I agree.
But you can see them in the games that sometimes they are very tired. That's why people are blaming Josko sometimes when he's running back. It's because I'm like, this guy has been running for us ever since the season started. But Grant.
Do you know? Right, on the pressing thing, I kind of hear the pressing a little bit. Whether that's a Haaland thing, whether that's a Pep thing, I actually think, you know, over recent weeks, Haaland has been getting back and winning the ball back a bit more. But look, there's no positives when Erling Haaland gets injured for me. Absolutely no positives. So I don't want people to think, especially, I mean, this is a City channel, so I don't expect there to be too many rivals in it, but saying, oh, you're only trying to put positive on it. But I'm just very thankful this injury has happened now and not 3 months ago, right? Because we do have Marmoush, right? I mean, against Bournemouth, it's a perfect example. Haaland got injured against Bournemouth. It was 1-1. Marmoush came on, got the winner, right? We now have, and I think for Marmoush, this could be exactly what he needs as far as because before next season, we now have an opportunity for Marmoush to get embedded into the team properly. This is also a good thing for Haaland as far as that. Now, when Haaland gets back to full fitness, as long as Marmoush does not pick up an injury, we're not going to have to rush Haaland back, right? Because We're going to have Marmoush there. If we didn't have Marmoush there, we would be rushing Haaland back. And that would be a concern because we know what happens when you rush players back. I've seen people saying 4 weeks and people saying 6 weeks and people saying different timelines. The truth is, the club have made an official statement saying they'll know more over the coming days, right? No one knows any more or any less. I even read a report with a company that basically look at player fitness, and they were saying worst case it can be 4 to 12 weeks, worst case. But they said you will not know until a few more x-rays are done, bit more work's been done. So anything you read people saying 4 weeks, anything you read saying 8 weeks, at this point we do not know, right? The club have made that statement, and like I said, reading professionals, they're saying the same thing, so we don't know. But are we in agreement, Patrick? Is Marmoush in the number 9 role now? Yeah, for the coming.
Yeah, I hope he is. I hope we don't see. Where did we see it? We don't see the Liverpool tactics. Oh, those are the tactics we saw in that other game. I forgot the other game where it all started. You're like, why is Marmoush not playing as the number 9? Why is Savio playing as the number 9? I think it was against Madrid or something. Yeah, Madrid, and those against Liverpool. So I hope it's all him. And to be honest with you, you can actually see the difference in strikers, which I think is good for us. Because first of all,
I am here. Bear with me.
No, it's fine. Don't worry. No, I'll keep you happy until you come back. You can actually see the difference in strikers, and which is great because you don't want to have the same type of striker. You don't want to have 2 Haalands. It's good that you've got a striker in Haaland who is like sort of a tall striker. You can use him as a target man, and he is always occupying defenders by being physical. While if you look at Marmoush, when he came on against Bournemouth, he's sort of a different striker. He's always running around, which reminds me of Julian Alvarez and Jesus. And that's why I think this guy right now, as you've said in the titles, is it his time to shine? I think this is the time to shine, and I think he is going to shine as long as he's given the opportunity to play as a striker. And the finishing is great. People have to appreciate this man's finishing, especially that finish he did against Bournemouth. That's like within few seconds, with the same leg he controlled the ball with. He shot it in. That was incredible, man. I'm happy that we have a striker. Because imagine if we didn't, we're gonna start seeing the false 9 thing. That way we start doing death of 1,000 passes and it doesn't work anymore.
100%. It's very important that we have got someone to come in. I think the other thing just to say on Marmoush's finishing, you're spot on. I just go back to that Newcastle game. I don't know if it was his first or second goal, but the one where he got the ball and he struck it instantly and started running away to celebrate before the ball had even hit the back of the net because he knew he's a great finisher. Now, just going to say this one as well. Will we see that? I'm intrigued. I don't think we will.
No, we won't. If we let me, is it e-ink? Let me break your heart. If we didn't see Liam Delap, who was killing it in the
well,
academy.
we did see Liam Delap.
Yeah, but we saw him at the end. Remember, we saw him somewhere towards the end, and he
got brought on. He got brought on against Leicester when we were 5-2 down. Bless him.
Yeah, and then he got brought on in the FA Cup game where we had no striker, and he scored within a few minutes. If we haven't seen Echeverri hasn't been seen yet. I don't think Divine gets into this team now. I think he might be picked up. You know what would be fantastic if they bring him on to the World Cup. Just to reward him. What do you think, Daps? Like instead of just bringing him,
honestly, who?
Divine. I mean, like, what if they just brought Divine for the World Cup, just like to reward him? That look, you've had a good season. Well, come with us to the World Club Cup. Yeah.
So I think the Club World Cup will be treated a bit like a pre-season tour. And usually in pre-season tours, they bring a few of the academy players. So I think we will see him. I think the one player I do think we'll see massively in the Club World Cup will be Echeverri. I'm pretty convinced that Echeverri will feature strongly in the Club World Cup. I think one of the things people have to remember with Echeverri, right, is he has just played a full season and then a tournament. Yeah. Because in Argentina, the season runs the same as in Brazil, right?
Yeah, but I wanted to ask something before I forget.
So he's played a full season, finished the season, then gone away to the under-20s, right, and played that. So, and also, by the way, picked up an injury in that. And also, by the way, having to settle into a new country, and a new club. So I think when people are questioning why an 18-year-old that's had a full season and then an international tournament through to the final, where he also picked up an injury, settling in a new country, I think when people are questioning why he hasn't started yet, I think people need to just go, whoa, 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 calm down, okay? Calm down. We've just signed Omar Marmoush, right?
Yeah.
Marmoush is not a season into, he's not already played a full season. So I think we have to try and embed Omar Marmoush before we start bringing in Etcheverry. But I think by the Club World Cup, I think Etcheverry might be a starter most games.
Yeah, but I wanted to ask, I don't know, and I hope somebody has an answer for me. Maybe you have an answer for me. Is it maybe because registration or something that he might be a City player, but he wasn't registered for the FA Cup or the Premier League? I've been thinking about that.
Maybe.
Would that be possible? Because you know, like how he came in, he was still at the World Cup. So does that count? If anybody knows that information, I've been thinking about that. That is it? Maybe that he's training at City. He is a City player, but
has he not been on the bench once yet?
No, not at all. Not even the bench. He hasn't sniffed a bench. Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. I was like, if somebody has an answer, please let me know. That
I'm just having a quick look to see if I can see anything on him.
Yeah, because I was wondering, I was like, maybe just because he played that World Cup, because how people come in January, they get registered. Like, does he have to be registered for the FA Cup? Because I'm pretty sure even if he sat on the FA Cup bench right now, like, are you supposed to register players? And now it's too late.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I was just thinking about that the other day. I was like, maybe that's how it is, because I haven't even seen him on any bench at all. But to be honest with you, you're right. Maybe in the Club World Cup we'll see him, because
I think we will.
Yeah, South America is they will be watching. South Americans will be watching the Club World Cup. It's going to be in America, you know, so it's going to be good TV times.
Sorry, my camera's gone again. Give me a second. I need to. Do you know what happens? Just quickly, the camera overheats when the sun's on it, because we're basically in a part of my house where I've got bifold doors and a skylight, and the sun goes on.
What sort of fraudulent camera is this?
Bro, it's a $4,000 Canon camera.
Is it? And it's doing this.
It overheats. But it's basically I'm in a house that between my daughter's hamster died in this part of the house in the summer.
Sorry about that.
No, it's fine. I went and got a new one and didn't tell her. It fried, bro. It fried.
Wait. Did you get a hamster without telling her?
I went and bought. Her hamster died, and it was while me and my ex-wife were going through a separation. I thought this is not a good time to tell her that a hamster died, so I went out and bought a new one and just told her it was the same hamster.
Does she know though? Because she might watch.
No, she doesn't know. Yeah, no. She won't watch this. She won't. Give me a second. I'm going to go and sort my camera.
Nah, that's grand. Yeah. Yeah, so for me, that's what I was thinking. And if anybody has that information, please let me know. Because I was thinking that is the reason why Etcheverry is not playing maybe because he came in at a certain point in time and he's not registered for the Prem and for the FA Cup. Like, which I don't mind, to be honest, because this guy is here for the future. He's not actually here for now. But another guy who I was also asking is Oscar Bob, because he played the EDS game. Yet we haven't even seen him on the bench. I know he's coming from an injury that's very serious, but every time somebody plays the EDS, I remember when Jesus did, KDB also once did, Gundogan also did play in the EDS. Now I saw that Bob was playing the EDS, and I don't know how many minutes he played, but I think he played a lot of minutes. So I was like, how come I haven't seen Bob on the bench? Because I think we need somebody like him, especially in the Prem. Maybe on the bench for the FA Cup, I thought he was going to come in a few minutes, warm up his legs and get him ready for Leicester City. But maybe Pep Guardiola doesn't see the need for Bob or Echeverry at this point, as Dab says that Echeverry obviously picked up that injury. So he doesn't see the need of pushing Echeverry and Bob, and maybe he's keeping them for the Club World Cup so they can show out then. And I know a lot of people can't wait for Bob. But I also want to give people a warning on Bob. We're putting a lot of pressure and hype on Bob. Am I wrong to say that? Because there's people saying, "Oh, Bob is coming. Our season is saved." I was like, guys, he never even played like for a full season at all.
Well, do you know what? I agree with you 100% on that. You know, look, Bob last season we saw glimpses of 100% pre-season. Bob was brilliant, absolutely brilliant, right?
Yeah.
But you're right. I think one thing we should learn from this season is when you have a fully functioning Manchester City, right? It's a lot easier to come in and look good, right?
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Now, at the moment, all of a sudden, because we're not fully functioning, it's a lot of pressure on anyone. I think Savio, for example, has felt the pressure this season at times because he thought he needs to get a goal, something that probably other players haven't felt. So I think we are putting pressure on Bob, but I think that's where Pep will manage it. Let's just talk about the Bournemouth game quickly. I just want to talk about when the lineup came out. What was your take, Patrick?
You know what? And that's what I'm saying. I'm going next season. I'm not going to say anything, Dabs. I'll be quiet. First of all, I cursed us and say we're going to stink this season, and we stank it out. We were doing a preview, Dabs, and this is what I said. I was like, I won't be surprised if Pep Guardiola thinks the old guard are the ones who can win him a trophy. So the old guard will take him to the semifinals, and boom, it was. I wasn't happy, to be honest, because you know why I wasn't happy? Because I don't know why you'd go out of your way to go buy one of the inform defensive or holding midfielders in Nico Gonzalez. Nico Gonzalez did not go to Spain at all.
Yeah,
he wasn't part of the Spanish. I'm pretty sure he will very soon, though, because obviously Rodri is 29, and I don't think they'll want to put pressure. But also there's Mendy. But he didn't go to Spain, so he was actually fresh, or he was training. There was no need to rest him. Then he played that midfield, and I was like, you're playing that midfield against Bournemouth, who are very good in transition and good in counter-attacks, and they run for days. The reason why this team has been doing well, this Bournemouth team, is that there's a lot of youngsters in your youth, and there's legs and physicality, and this is the midfield you play. Yeah. So that was my reaction. I can't pretend and say I was jumping around. I was criticizing Pep, saying, why are you so obsessed? I know these are the guys who won you the treble. I know you owe these guys, but is this the time to be doing this? Why don't you mix it a bit? To be fair, it wasn't that bad, but it wasn't exciting also.
So when the lineup came out, I went on City Extra, which and straight away I see City Extra's comments, and I commented saying, City Extra, the one place I know if I come to, I'm always going to see nothing but negativity, because a lot of negative people seem to like to comment on anything that City Extra put up, right? But then
you mean the comments, not the
the comments.
City Extra are very safe. They always tweet in a safe way.
Yeah. They're safe.
Sort of
yeah. But the comments are all negative on there, right? And I said, oh, shock. Negativity, City in the comments.
Yeah.
But then I said, I can't lie. I'm struggling to not be negative when I look at the age of this midfield, right? Because it was like you.
It was 98 or 93, because I did calculate it live. I was doing a watch along, so I calculated it.
And it was the Gonzalez thing did confuse me, because it's like he didn't play for Spain.
Yeah.
Why is he not in this lineup? First half we were awful, and when I say awful, I think really awful.
Can you admit one thing though? Because I also admitted it. There was moments in that first half, right, where I saw the odd Gundogan and the odd Man City and the odd KDB. There was moments where KDB and Gundogan were doing these 1-2 touches and actually looking class.
Do you know what? I'll be honest. I miss them If that was in the first half, I missed it. Bro, are you still there, Pat? Now, Patrick, you froze. It's Patrick that's frozen. Now, I was thinking, why is he not responding? Why is he holding that pose so perfectly? Shout, Patrick. I think you're frozen, mate. I'll let you sort that out and come back when you're ready. 79 of you in here. Likes on 96. Let's get those likes up over 100, please. Yeah, what Patrick was saying, we probably will go back to that. I personally think that first half was... Patrick, you there? He's taking his camera off.
Oh, no. I was wondering. We just cut off, so I was wondering what's going on.
Oh, no, you froze like this.
Oh, did I? I don't know. You know, sometimes the internet just goes and there's a new box, and it's what the new box, it just goes crazy. Are you trying to freeze yourself?
Nah, not really.
No, I was saying those moments in the game where Gundogan and KDB were doing 1-2s and passing, and obviously the only issue we're having is for them to produce something in the final third. But those moments during that, I was looking at the old City. But the thing is, those are moments, and they were not doing their lot.
In the second half more. I think second half Gundogan and KDB were really good.
Yeah, they were good, but I'm just saying, you're seeing
still
a bit of difference of quality, that they still have the quality there.
Yeah, the maddest one for me still to this day is that De Bruyne's passing is still awful and De Bruyne's shooting is still awful. But the simple things he was able to do better on Sunday.
Did you also notice one thing though? That somehow De Bruyne's passing range went better when he saw when he was having a young runner, a young runner in here's your camera again. A young runner in...
I need to have a word with Cass about this.
Yeah, I know. Nico O'Reilly was making runs. De Bruyne was actually feeding him nice through balls, because that ball that De Bruyne took down, some people just tried to head it, but he took it down properly and then did that nice pass to him. So sometimes I was like, is De Bruyne sometimes being starved of runners? Because even during that game, what's his name? Haaland did not do much runs, even though there was one where he was through on goal. And I still think if Haaland had his shooting boots, we could have been like 3-0 up before halftime. So also we were bad first half, but if Haaland had his shooting boots, I think we could have three up. But you're right about KDB. Yeah, some of the passes don't look great. The shooting doesn't look great, but at least he's trying, though.
Sorry, Martin, you fucking happy clapper. Sorry, I swore before the watershed. Can you not see we were very bad in the first half, Martin? I agree with you. Yes, we got a penalty, right? And yes, Haaland had 2 chances that he definitely should have taken, right? I'm not going to deny that. We had 3 clear-cut chances. I can't remember the 4th, but let's say 3. But we were bad in that first half, Martin. I'm sorry. And as for this, KDB was running loads. What games you 2 watched? Bro, I just said to you, KDB did the simple things well. Second half in particular, KDB was good in the second half.
You know what, Martin?
Hold on.
This happy clapping is top class. It's top class. What? It's happy clapping too.
Yeah, and
generational.
Look, we're going to speak about it tonight. Me, Tone, Martin. We've got a show 7 p.m. But Tone is spot on. You can school us this evening, that's fine. But we weren't good in the first half. And what I said on KDB in particular, is he did the simple things well in the second half, right? But his shooting and his passing, is not the same. It was poor. Do you know what? I felt Gundogan almost looked like old Gundogan at points in the second half. He started to hit the box a bit. It's almost like you thought. Yeah, it's almost like you thought with Marmoush. Actually, by the way, in the first half, I'd say out of all of them, I think that what's his name was I think Kovacic was quite good in the first half.
Nah, he was working hard and he was covering a lot of ground for everybody. I remember I saw him. He was coming on the ground for everybody. You know this is you know what let me speak on this. Bring back that comment.
Yeah. I think he's joking, by the way. I hope he's joking.
Oh God, he's joking. Yeah. Okay. Let me also speak on Martin and everything. Martin, you're doing generational happy clapping on this one because the first half was not great. We were just passing for the sake of passing, and some of the chances came on, but doesn't mean that because it's the same thing as where we say, oh, just because you scored 5 goals doesn't mean you had a great game. You can score 5 goals as a football player, you can score 5 goals as a team and win the game, but when you sit down and analyze the game, you're like, nah, that wasn't great. First half wasn't great. And you're right, Kovacic was working so hard. I think he was trying to cover everything. Yeah. He's joking, so it makes sense.
No,
it's just that people make me laugh saying, "Oh, but this was there, this was there." No, the first half wasn't great. I just said those moments where it looked like, "Oh, that's the old Gundo and that's the old."
Yeah, I think in the second half, though, I think the second half changed a lot. Now, there's something I want to speak on. Right, where is it? Yeah, right. I had to put this up, by the way, as well. Did you see that?
I heard about that.
I'm convinced Manchester City, you need to improve who you hire. You must be hiring Scousers, to be Manchester, our mascots, But this one, right. Daps, we conceded 0.00 XG when Vardy moved to centre-back against Bournemouth. Now, I just said this on Never a Foul a little bit, and I want your thoughts on it and everyone else in the comments' thoughts on it, right? I think we all... we'd all agree that since we signed Vardy, we've probably all at times said we want to see Vardy as part of a centre-back partnership with Diaz, right?
Yeah, everybody has been saying that.
Right. Now, with the fact that at the moment we've got the injuries we've got, we made the change at half-time. The camera's gone again, for God's sake. I'm just going to keep talking, then I'll go, and then when you move over... Vardy has shown that he can be a ball-playing defender, right? He's shown he's very good on the ball, right?
Yeah.
Now, with the injuries we have, and with how good Nico O'Reilly looked when he came on and played on the left, is it time that maybe we see Vardy being the ball-playing centre-back alongside Diaz?
I've been crying for this, and I was having an argument with one of my friends who's a City fan. I was like, he keeps saying, oh, no, Vardy was bought to be a left-back. I was like, no. This guy was supposed to be a generational centre-back. Am I wrong to say that? That's what people are telling me. And every time I looked at Vardy at Leipzig, where they played the high line, apart from the time we killed them completely, that was his speciality. He used to be fast, very good in a high line, and very intelligent for a young centre-back. So I have been crying for this to happen. And this is what I keep saying, Dabs. It looks like at Man City, somebody has to get injured before your dreams come true. We wanted Kusanov. Somebody had to get injured for Kusanov to come in. I think looking at Josko as a centre-back is perfect because when Josko was bought, do you know what I thought as a City fan? I was like, finally, Pep Guardiola has seen that this Akanji experiment is not working. Akanji cannot replace John Stones. John Stones is not reliable, so we need a new John Stones. Enter Josko Vardy. Very good on the ball, intelligent. He used to play as a midfielder, used to play as a striker during his young days. And I was like, why isn't Pep giving Josko the keys to the John Stones throne? So the day when he came on and when he was performing, I was like, thank you, because that was good centre back performance. That was better than most of our centre backs that performed this season. He was so good, and you know what? This is what I kept on telling people. People are like, oh, he's not good defensively. I was like, there's a difference. If you have played football and your fullback is injured and they ask you as a centre-back to go as a fullback, it's a different ball game out there, you know? When you're a centre-back, you look at things differently, you sweep things differently, but as a fullback, you also do things differently. So Josko, look at him as a centre-back, so different. As a fullback, there's a lot of things you have to do. There's a way you have to put your body, you have to defend. And he's done it okay, and he's done it well sometimes, but look at him, man, I was impressed, and I hope we continue seeing it. Unfortunately, as I said, at City, sometimes it has to take somebody to get injured. Then talking about Nico O'Reilly, who some of us have been hyping all year. Do you know why I think he could also work next to Rodri or next to Nico Gonzalez? when was? Do you know how people were twerking for Jude?
Yeah.
This guy just looks like our version of Jude. The guy just has, like Jude, as much as sometimes we hate him because people are like, I look at him, he thinks he's all that. It's just football is in him. Even his younger brother, they have the height, the body shape, they're young, and they have these runs into the box. Look at those runs in the box that he's been doing. If you look at Nico O'Reilly, even the time when he came on in one of the games this season, he just came in for a cameo. He was doing runs into the box, and he was getting the ball from the thing, box to box. This kid is just.
Do you know what he hits? Yeah. Do you know what he actually hits the box very similar to how Vardiel hits the box?
Yeah,
they make very similar runs, which kind of. Do you know what I mean? I'm glad that Pep has come out and said, he will get. He'll be starting in the semi-final because he got 2 against Plymouth and. No. I'm not going to lie though. I'd be looking to start him against Leicester. Yeah. I would. Honestly, at the moment, if it was me, my preferred defense at the moment with because Stones is still injured, Akanji is still injured, Ak is still injured, right? Mm-hmm. We might see Vitor Hayes against Leicester, maybe, right? Mm-hmm. But me personally, I would like to see Nico O'Reilly on the left. I would like to see Vardiel, Diaz, Kuzanov.
Yeah, that's actually a good lineup. So basically, what you're doing is the 3 are gonna sit back, isn't it? So you're telling Kusanov.
Oh, there we go.
Kusanov, literally. Diaz. Yeah, Kusanov. So Kusanov, Diaz, and Vardiel stay back. Nico has a license to be dropping into midfield or just running or just
exactly that.
That's a masterclass, Dabs. You've actually come with the masterclass.
Well, no, it's not because. Sorry if I pronounce your name wrong. Is that Lakshmi Bunia? He's got it the same. But for me, I think exactly what you said. The key with Kuzanov playing on the right is that allows Nico O'Reilly. It's a bit like what we would do with when we used to have maybe Zinchenko or Delph on the left, where they'd be going further forward. With this, you getting any defenders in the summer transfer window? I don't know if you've seen. Have you seen the links to us and Saliba, by the way?
Nah, I think that capped though.
Yeah, so do I.
There's Juma. Juma is doing very well. I'd rather him come back. But we don't need centre backs. Juma.
No,
we don't need centre backs.
We need Juma. We need Juma. I'm going to sort this camera out one last time. Then after that, I'm going to have a word with Cass because this is unbelievable.
Yeah, like at the end of the day, I don't think we do need to sign defenders, and like we have so many. We have 8 or 9 defenders at the club. Like, where are you going to play them? Let's say if John Stones comes back, Ake comes back fit. Ake had that surgery that obviously he used to struggle with the injury he used to struggle with. Now he had surgery. What if he comes back and recovers? Akanji comes back again. Don't forget, the only reason why Akanji did not look great this season, it's come out because he was struggling with the injury of his foot. And now, obviously, he's had the surgery. He comes back. What if he comes back stronger? Like, so much. We would rather right now, my fellow City fans, go and start thinking about signing 4-backs. That's what I've been talking about. Instead of continue signing centre-backs, get a 4-back, get a left-back, get a right-back, and then maybe some of the defenders, maybe somebody will leave. We never know. But right now, instead of focusing on centre-backs, you'd rather get 4-backs because sometimes this team, especially Man City, you can see like Nico O'Reilly. The reason why people, even Nunes against Bournemouth, you could see that sometimes when we have somebody running into a space and crossing the ball like Nunes did, he had 2 crosses. But imagine if that's a 4-back specialist. Imagine if that's a left-back and a nice left-back and a nice right-back, because the centre backs at the back, it works if you've got a Cancelo. If those 4 centre backs, one has to be a Cancelo. I think that's why Dab said Nico has to be one of them in the back. Because if you've got those 4 centre backs, it doesn't work unless it's John Stones tucking into midfield. I don't know if you get what I'm saying. It's always somebody has to be good. One of those centre backs has to be good on the ball, has to be good in attacking. But if not, we might actually have to look for an attacking 4-back, and the 4-back doesn't have to be good defensively.
Well,
all you have to do is have 3 defenders who sit back, and the fullback just has to be okay defensively, but very good at attacking. And has to be
I'll be honest with you. I mean, this one here saying we need a centre back. Stones is always injured, not reliable. I hear you. By the way, I would be shocked if John Stones goes in the summer because of the wage he's on. He's got 1 year left on his contract. I don't think, but the only way I could see John Stones going is if we use him in a Branthwaite deal, maybe, potentially. We'll try. But because of the wage, I think that would be difficult. But I think you're right. You have to remember, right? Ake, Akanji, Stones, all three have been injured this season. Yeah. We're not going to sell all three. We've got Kuzanov, we've got Hayes. I can't lie. That, what's his name? The guy over in France. Is it Juma, right? Yeah. You can't be playing in the French league that well and not be considered to be brought back, right? City must be looking at him and thinking, he's playing too well for us not to consider bringing him back.
The guy is talented, though. I heard he was in Africa playing in non-league barefooted. You saw that? And it's just taken him few years to just jump around already, and he's found himself as a City player being loaned out in France. Yeah. And in France, he's actually dominated. And if you look at him, the guy can play in the high line. The guy has got physicality and speed. I don't get why are people looking to buy more centre backs? For what? We have so many. And the centre backs we have are actually better than other centre backs, by the way. Believe it or not. I know people are looking at Akanji having a bad season, but he was doing that on injections and he was
I think that's valid. I think that's very, very true on Akanji. I think Akanji's got pelters for no reason this season. I think Akanji's been singled out a little bit too much by some people. I really do, especially now that I've found out who's playing with injuries. I think people have been a little bit harsh on Akanji. I think for me, Cambiasso, I have no doubt we'll be going back in for Cambiasso in the summer.
Yeah, he was injured again, though, wasn't it? Again for the second time, I think so.
Has he? What, he's been injured again? Well, we don't want that. That's one thing we have to really, really look at when whoever we're signing. I think that's probably a valid point on Branthwaite. The Branthwaite has been injured a lot this season. Probably another thing that might put us off Wharton, because I know we keep getting linked with Wharton. Wharton's picked up a few injuries this season. So,
do you think some of these players, though, Dabs, talking about like some of these players, let's say, I know that I've just mentioned Cambiasso and you mentioned Wharton and Brandworth that being injured, but is it maybe because sometimes, these players, when they play in these teams, there's no rotation. It's always desperate for them to play. So there's never rest. As soon as Wharton came back, they had him in the team already, and they were saying, without him, we don't play great. That Wharton fella, people keep on saying bad things about him. I don't think people can know. Guy is talented. That guy, there's talent. Yeah. There is talent. You can see that this guy is going to be something. Like the way he moves. Don't forget, he used to play as a number 10. If you watch his interview last season, he said the reason why they were asking him that your passes to your other midfielders are very crisp and very good is like, because I used to play as a number 10, and myself, if I was playing in that position, this is the ball I'd like to be given. So that's why I pass in a certain way. That's why I look for certain passes. That's why I go in certain positions to help my number 10. So Wharton is a baller. I know people are like, I know it's not going to be a Phillips situation. You can see a difference. Wharton is a baller, younger, good on the ball, and he can see a pass to a striker. You need some of that homegrown, people. We're not just going to go outside and start buying Verts, and then when you buy Verts, go and buy another Verts elsewhere, or go buy another midfielder from another. You need also the homegrown quota to be filled. So that's why sometimes they have to go and look into English talent. But I don't know where people keep saying. A lot of people keep saying Wharton stinks. I don't know what games you're watching.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I haven't watched enough of Wharton. Hold tight, D. I've got a friend who's a Palace fan, and he waxes lyrical about how good he is. He's definitely got quality. We will see. We have to remember as well, we do have to do this homegrown quota thing as well. So we do need some English players in this team. Just one last thing as well. I just want to say, Jack Grealish. when he came on at the weekend was good. I'm just looking towards that semi-final against Nottingham Forest, right? For me, Jack Grealish should start that game. The reason is you look at and when I say start that game, I'm starting Jack Grealish in midfield against Nottingham Forest.
You would though, I have always criticized Jack, but the thing is, this is where people should understand that my criticism is right. Every time he's come on this season, he's looked great, and look at the hype I've been giving him. This is where you have to say I was fair. I wasn't doing an agenda. People thought I had an agenda, but what I've seen from him is I think he knows.
No, you've got an agenda, but no. Do you know what it is, Patrick? Your role is to have an agenda. I don't mind your agendas because you're nice with your agendas. You're not mean with your agendas.
Yeah. You're saying somebody. Yeah, maybe you're right that somebody has to have a certain role. But I'm just saying, even when he came for Madrid, even against Forest before, he played very well. To be honest with you, I've been asking for Jack to be the number 10. I'm like, just give him the number 10 because at this point in time, we don't have a number 10 that stands there and says, Jack can't take that number 10 right now. Like at this point in time, somebody has to take that number 10 shirt. And you're right. I would play him in midfield. I would play if Nico Gonzalez is behind him, or he plays Gundogan behind him, Nico Gonzalez, Gundogan, or Kovacic and Nico Gonzalez. Tell Jack to just be free. Tell him like what Dean Smith used to say, that Jack go attack wherever you can. I would rather Jack right now as the number 10. And you know what makes me laugh? When people are doing the list of players to go, they keep mentioning Jack. And I was like, my list, even though Jack is injured, Jack is at the bottom of the list.
Yeah, same.
There's people who tick before Jack. There's people who you have to look at before Jack. So I've never.
I'm keeping up. Look, for me, I personally think, and this is, by the way, this is not Foden slander. Even I think right now, Foden should be taken out of the limelight. Right?
Yeah,
he should be taken out of the limelight, and Grealish should be put in. Right? Put Grealish in over Foden. They're different types of players. Grealish will pick the ball up deeper and run with the ball. Right? I just personally think at the moment, Grealish is perfect. I think Foden for the rest of this season should be taken out of the limelight, should be brought on as a sub here and there. Like, it's come out that Foden has got personal issues, right? Yeah. We've had it shared with us. Just take him out of the limelight for a little bit. And like you said, Grealish had an amazing game against Forest at home. And by the way, also, he's had a great FA Cup run this season. I think for me, Nico O'Reilly and Jack Grealish should be starting that semi-final. Look, we're going to wrap it up here. Me and Patrick are going to start. Did we agree a show? It was tomorrow, didn't we?
Yeah, it was tomorrow. You didn't give me a time, though.
Yeah, I'll get back to you with the time. But me and Patrick are going to have a show every Wednesday. There we go. My camera's off again. Don't worry, the camera will be sorted. I've found something to cover the window now, but it's too late. It's hot, and once the camera gets hot, it stays hot. But right, we are going to be back tonight on We Are the South Stand. Firstly, at 6 p.m, there's going to be a half-hour show with myself, Steve, and We Are 1894. And then we will be back at 7 p.m. with the usual Boys in Blue, myself, Steve, Tony, Martin, and Nobbins. Patrick, really appreciate you joining me. You got anything coming up today?
Yeah, I think this evening there's a show that was demanded by one of my friends who's on the panel. So we're gonna do a show on giving youngsters a chance at City. So I've got people with different opinions. So there's others who have opinions saying you guys are on this youngster hype. You need too much, and we have other people who are saying youngsters need a chance at City. So that's the show at 7 o'clock.
Okay, 7 o'clock. Right?
Similar time you're streaming.
Okay, fair enough. And just on this one, please invite LB on the show just to bring you up to date with that. Listen, we speak with LB. LB is a good friend. Spoke with him last night. LB is very busy, right? He's taken on a lot of shows as it is.
He's a busy man.
He's a very busy man. LB, there will be a show with LB coming up. It won't be a weekly show because LB can't take on weekly shows, but there will be a show with LB coming up really, really soon. He will be on the channel. It's just one thing. LB does not want to burn himself out, and we do not want to burn LB out. Patrick, appreciate you coming on, and everyone, catch us back here at 6 p.m. Actually, 1 second. I need to do... No, that's it. In a bit, people. Love.